Hell, I may not even do a season recap. I may just jump right into it.
All right, it's on.
Hell, I may not.
You got the link, Bob? Feeling the punt, the ball hit off his helmet. Jesus Christ.
That who?
Fucking Pac-Man.
Welcome back.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Madden 18 Hard Knocks Draft Reveal Show for the first season of this cycle for us. I am joined by a couple of guys that.
Uh-oh.
Did Bob just...
Bob?
What happened?
We lost Bob. Good start.
Well.
Damn it, Hat.
What'd I do?
You didn't pay the bill.
We're just blaming
My
you.
bad.
No, I'm here. Somebody's got major feedback, so.
I think we lost him again.
I'm here.
Oh, okay.
Okay, let's restart. Refresh this. All right, take two on this live radio show, TV thing, whatever you want to call it. Welcome all to the first reveal show for the Hard Knocks 18 season, or the Hard Knocks 18 cycle. And what I can tell you guys is I'm joined by a few of the guys in the admin. You're looking at Mo. You're looking at Hat, Guy, and Rye. What's up, guys?
What's up?
How are you?
No.
Not much.
All right, fellas. So let's get this thing started. I know it's been kind of a rocky start here.
That's all right.
I've had some feedback on my end for some reason. But anyways, so let's jump into the draft class. The first position is quarterbacks. Well, let's talk. Well, let me refresh. Let's explain how we do this. So first of all, what we do in Hard Knocks is we take the computer generated draft classes and we end up editing them after the class, so we can have more realistic players that are coming out of college. So I think last year, we had, we had all the Leonard Fournettes and all that. We created all of them to come through our seasons and everything. And we did that for, 4 seasons?
Yeah, I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sounds about right.
And then I think we kind of waned off because the cycle for us was starting to die down. But we put a lot of effort into making the things as close as realistic as possible, save for a couple of players here and there where we got a little skewed or a little excited.
Um,
But
No name to it.
I think they
Derwin James.
You know, just call me out, Bob. Just say my name.
But honestly, you guys did a great job last year. I think it was one of the bright spots of the whole release. It's probably one of the best things we've ever done in Hard Knocks. And I think it's a great thing that we're going to go forward with it. So how it's going to work is this season we'll obviously do the same editing. We've kind of done a different spin on it, where we're going to give you a scouting report, and that's going out now. And then you're going to get an actual grade by week 10, week 11, somewhere around there. And then our combine numbers will go out at the same time they're released in the game. And then right before the draft, we'll give you the actual ratings. So, Hat, Ride, you guys want to kind of explain that more in depth?
So basically, we're going to give grades for the affected ratings, which is basically going to be based off of what we put in the scouting reports. And then for this combine numbers, we'll give out like a 40-yard dash time for the speed rating. And then I think we decided we're going to do a grade for acceleration or whatever other physical traits we're doing.
And we are going to use a random generator for grades. So, for example, similar to how they do it in the draft, if someone gets an A on speed, potentially that would be between a 4.2 and a 4.26. That's just hypothetical. And
Yeah.
randomly, after the generator hits, that'll determine what the speed is. So it could be anywhere from 93 to 96. We're going to do it similar to how it's done in the actual game.
Which will give us a little more variance and keep you guys a little more from tanking or throwing your teams away.
So don't tank.
We're talking about you, Cade. Mr. Cade.
Oh.
All right. With all that said, let's jump into the quarterbacks. So let's talk about the 2018 quarterback class.
All right, the first guy on the board, Sam Darnold. He is 20 years old, 6'4", 225 pounds. Probably will be the top quarterback right now in the class. Scouting report, prototypical size with an above-average arm. He is extremely accurate, probably one of the most accurate passers in the last few drafts. He does have decent mobility. He's able to move around the pocket fairly well. The negative, long delivery, which could be a problem in the NFL, especially in Madden right now with the pass rush. You've got to be able to get it out quickly. He also needs to improve his ball security. He'll probably have fairly low carry, and he can also get careless with the ball. The player at the bottom that it compares to, so if you look in the draft class, you'll see Barry Burnett. He's the top-rated quarterback. This is who Sam will eventually replace. So.
Right. And then, that's the player, that we'll be editing or whatever. But the next quarterback, to me, there's no comparison with the rest of them, as I feel that, Sam Darnold's probably is the best one. But the next one's going to be Josh Allen. He's 6'5", 233. He is compared to, or he's going to be, Noah Stinchcomb. As far as his scouting report goes, he has incredible physical tools. One scout commented that he has Joe Flacco's frame and arm strength and a more athletic Carson Wentz.
Ooh. Yeah, but Wentz is terrible.
Yeah, we know that.
Well,
plays in that
he has good
offense.
He has good speed for a big quarterback. Some would say he even has enough speed and power to be an effective runner. We know we have a few guys in the league that love to do that, even with players they shouldn't.
Yes, we do.
He has and this is one thing that I've noticed on his is he has a quick and explosive release, and I think that's a huge upside for him. And of course, things like accuracy and he struggles somewhat in bigger games, are two negative marks on his resume. But what do you guys think of Josh Allen?
he's the most fascinating prospect in the class because he kind of rose up out of nowhere.
Yeah,
But
the accuracy though, that's something that right now with simulation and Madden, if he gets maybe one short accuracy down or mid accuracy down, he could struggle mightily his first year.
Yeah, I think with accuracy could be it could definitely bring him down a couple notches. On simulation, it's a totally different animal. If you ain't got good accuracy, especially mid to short, so it's like you especially on a drag or an in, and you're throwing it like 20 yards away. You know what I mean? So.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
Mariota last night.
Is there prime examples of that?
Nobody runs drags in this league.
Oh, no, not at all.
Yeah, nobody.
You've got to.
Hey, Mo would know what that bad accuracy is like rolling with hack over here.
Yeah, and it's freaking awful. So I'm just
I'm muted.
Just putting it out there. It might be
I nerfed hack last year after season 1. I had to lower that.
like,
that was
no more of
dumb.
this.
Yeah, this isn't gonna happen.
So we've gone through Sam Darnold and Josh Allen. Let's get to the Tubbs' favorite quarterback, the chosen one, Josh Rosen.
Where is Tubb when you need him?
Rosen is 6'4", 220 pounds, 21 years of age. He has a smooth throwing motion, and he's very quick release. He's very accurate, and when the lights are on, that's when he is a big gamer. He will, all that pressure. He just loves pressure. He's probably the most natural pocket passer in the draft. However, he's kind of goofy. He's not the best athlete. He's a little awkward. And some would say that
Jerk.
there's a question mark a little bit about his injury. So, Hat, do you think the injury comes into play?
Yes, especially with this season or this release with all the injuries. Actually, I don't know. Have we had many quarterback injuries so far this season? I don't think we've had.
Matt Ryan went down for a little bit.
Oh yeah.
We've had some that haven't counted.
Oh yeah,
That's
true.
Wentz got hurt twice, and
that's right.
somehow lived through both of them.
Okay, Ghost.
One thing about Rosen
yeah.
that I real quick that I want to add to him is that we will probably put in the game, especially for people that are viewing, people that view it, so it would help. He isn't liked at all by a lot of his teammates, and they also said his high school coach didn't really like him. So I'm not sure how we're going to figure that into Rosen, but he seems like he's not a real likable guy. So I do want to somehow account for that in his ratings when the final.
Too bad this is an owner mode, right?
I know.
We could use that personality trait.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah, but I guess it doesn't matter.
We'll just give him like 10 awareness. I think that's a fair trade-off.
Well, we'll leave Tubb to draft his favorite player, and we'll jump over here to Mason Rudolph, who is I believe, our fourth quarterback of the class.
Correct.
The Oklahoma State senior is 6'5", 230. Oklahoma State is a high-powered offense, but it's a very simple offense and a simple scheme. So he's a one or two quick read throw type guy. Some scouts have said he has small hands. I mean, there's so many jokes. There's so many jokes. Our great president says there's no hands don't matter. I mean, there's so many jokes we can go about, but we'll just leave that alone. He protects the ball very well, despite the small hands. So he won't take many chances, and he's a dink and dunk, quick throw, quick read, get the ball out type of quarterback. Exactly. Which obviously helps with his accuracy. So, out of the first, he's obviously the fourth one, or maybe he's kind of splitting hairs with the next couple guys, but I do think Mason Rudolph is, with the way the league is more quarterback driven now, he's probably a late one, early two, maybe.
Agreed. He's a jack of all trades, master of none type player. He's not really doesn't stand out really in any way, but he's good in pretty much every category. There was one major weakness that stood out.
So he's the safe quarterback.
He's the safe quarterback.
Speed aspect too that he brings. He's gonna
Yep.
According to the scouting report, he's not going to be probably like the next guy that's coming up, but he's going to have some wheels that and do all this extend plays and all this other good stuff.
And with that said, the next guy, this guy's for you, Nicholas Knight. This guy is 6'3", 200 pounds, the reigning Heisman winner. He's been killing it so far this year. We're talking about the quarterback out of Louisville, Lamar Jackson. He has Mike Vick type explosiveness, a strong arm, drives the ball in the tight windows. The only problem with that is it hurts his accuracy at times. And the biggest question on Lamar Jackson is, can he stay healthy with his thin frame and the way he runs the ball? I mean, we haven't seen but a few guys get injured, but it seems like the guys who run their quarterbacks the most, that's where the liability is. So Lamar Jackson's going to be kind of one of those wild card quarterbacks. In the right hands, he's going to be the perfect quarterback. In the wrong hands, he's probably not going to pan into too much.
I would love to see this guy with Coach, someone like that. Not Ghost, Coach. I think Coach he'd be pretty good. I'm surprised to see how many people have him in the top 15. I just saw Kuiper's draft board. He was 13. I've seen Walter Football. He's the number 6 pick, number 7 pick. So his stock's definitely gone up a lot in the last 6 months.
Yeah, it baffles me. I did not see that from him last year because I essentially saw him as a running back playing the quarterback position, but somehow scouts are high on him.
Because he's a freaking athlete. It's just the accuracy. Like, is he going to be, improving enough to be an NFL quarterback? I mean,
he's 6'3" too. He's big.
Yeah.
It's not like a 5'11" speed
right.
He's a big guy with a strong arm. So I think
the crazy thing about the Lamar is like you said, they've moved him up to even in real life. They moved him up to the second quarterback. So this guy's going to be either a huge gain or a huge bust, and that's going to fall right in line with how he is in HK.
Yep,
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
And we got some owners that love the read options.
I think he'll go for one of the top. I think he'll be number 2 or number 3 even in HK.
He might go before Allen, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
What did he go last year? Like 6 overall or something like that? 4?
He took him.
We don't talk about that.
Sporty.
Don't talk about that.
Sporty.
Yeah.
Hey, Sporty.
Yeah, he got the shaft last year because he ended up being one of those quarterbacks who fell really far after scouting him.
Yeah, he had like 60-something accuracy.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
All right, so let's round out this quarterback class with Luke Falk. He is 6'4", 220. He is out of Washington State. He's in a intricate offense, I would say. He has good accuracy, short, intermediate. Reads the fields, throws with anticipation. The kind of some of the stuff you want, except for his arm strength. This is another guy. I'm kind of like in the Mason Rudolph thing. This is another guy that's going to be kind of safe, but maybe not the home run hitter that people look for in Hard Knocks.
Mm-hmm. He'll be that whoever runs the West Coast offense.
Yep.
He'll just end up on a team like that.
Put him in LA.
So,
the Rams.
So you think he's a 3rd round pick, 2nd round pick, late 2nd?
With his accuracy, I could see him going in the 2nd.
Yeah, the accuracy, that arm strength is concerning. He's slower than Osweiler.
Yeah, he's gonna have like 60 speed, somewhere in that range, 58, 59 speed.
Man, that's mean.
But if you've got 83, 84 accuracy, short, mid, maybe like 70 deep accuracy, but 86 throw power, I think someone will take a chance on someone.
That'd be interesting.
And keep in mind, guys, if you notice the little name on the slide at the bottom, that is the person he's going to be in the draft class. So as you're scouting, if you're interested in this player, if you're interested in Luke, scout Ryan Nickerson, and you'll get the majority of his attributes, except for the 5 that we pick or whatever. All right, so that rounds out the quarterbacks. So are we all pretty set that Darnold's 1, Josh Allen's 2, and then the rest kind of just fall in line? Or do we think Lamar jumps up to 2 and then the rest fall in line there?
I could see Lamar jumping up to 2 just because of his speed.
Yeah.
But as actual quarterback prospects, yeah, it's probably Darnold and Allen as 1 and 2. Probably, maybe even Rosen.
Class, they'll tell you that.
Yeah,
Okay.
it shouldn't be Jackson, but he will be second.
I agree with Guy. I think he'll go number 2. Be the second one off the board.
And now that we're done with the Pit for Life portion of the show, we're going to step over here to the halfbacks.
This is the semi portion of the show.
This would be the semi portion of the show, and most of you will know why, because our first halfback is going to be, and I'm going to butcher his first name because I always do. Saquon.
Sorry.
Go ahead. I wasn't going to say Sacagawea.
Well, good.
Saquon Barkley.
Yep.
He's 5'11", 223. He's out of Penn State University. This guy is the most explosive back since LaShawn McCoy, according to some scouts. Great vision. He has very soft hands, so he can't catch the ball in the backfield, and the body strength is incredible. He might have trouble with the pass rush and blocking. And then depending upon the user, he might have trouble with bouncing to the outside. And then according to some scouts, the other problem is the Penn State education.
That will do it.
And so anyways, that last one's a joke, an inside joke for one of our members. We love you, Sammy.
It's not a joke. It's real.
Have you met anyone? Have you met anyone from Penn State? Seriously, I've got a few in my office. And, yeah, I'm not even kidding. It's really. Anyway, keep going.
Okay, so keep in mind, Barkley is compared to, or will be, Dixon Coleman. And besides his education, what do you guys think of Barkley?
Barkley's awesome, man. Don't let the Ohio State guys talk right now.
Don't let the Penn State guy talk.
Let me get my drool on right quick.
No, but all Ohio State fandom aside, I love Barkley. He's by far, I would say, the best running back in this class.
I think he'll go to Simi. I think Simi will do whatever he can to get up and trade for him.
Yeah, I feel like
already tanking it for him. So.
I agree.
I feel like this is like a Ricky Williams type thing coming.
He'll give his draft for him.
And then he'll dress him in a dress.
Yep. He'll be a top 3 pick. He'll be a top 3 pick.
Well, then, so we know where Barkley's going. So let's jump over to the SEC and let's jump over to this guy, Darius Geis, 5'11", 212. He's out of LSU, and
Overrated.
he's a violent runner. He runs angry. Many scouts compare him to Marshawn Lynch. The report says he's got terrific vision. He's got a great ability to read blocks, so that makes him excellent in pass protection. His biggest knock is probably going to be taking care of the football. Since he runs so violent, he's more susceptible to fumbling, to dropping the ball, to not catching the ball, to just setting his team back. So he's more of a risk-reward type guy.
Adrian Peterson, except not as good.
Peterson at top end speed. Yeah, I think that's.
Oh yeah, and the speed.
Yeah, he'll have 88 speed, somewhere in that range coming in. But he's gonna have a lot of power. And for guys that like to truck, the back you'll take.
He's good hands too. So I mean,
True.
I think the biggest thing for him in Hard Knocks is going to be his pass protection.
Yeah.
Do you know what the way things are right now? You have to keep your backs in a lot because of the blitz. So, and especially against some guys, the blitz is just ridiculous. So keeping him in for pass protection is going to be huge. I could probably see him going mid first. I mean, the value on halfbacks is kind of low, but
Yeah, somewhere in that
You know,
range.
like, he's more power. You know, he's going to be running dudes over. He's not going to have the speed. So a lot of guys might shy away from him because he doesn't have great speed. Oh,
Motherfuck. John Ross just fumbled.
Hey. This is a family show.
waiting for that rant. So
I
good.
never understood that pick off the subject. Anyway, keep going.
All right. We've been to the first two running backs. Let's jump over to Oregon's Royce Freeman. He's 5'11", 230. Great vision with balance. Stops on a dime. So this is a quick guy. Good power. Some would say he could be the workhorse, the every down back in the NFL. Good blocker. Now, I say he stops on a dime. He's quick, but he's not explosive, if that makes sense. So he's quick side to side, but he can't get up and go straight north and south.
He's agile, but not yet. His agility's going to be high. His acceleration.
Right. So he's going to be good in his cone, but he's not going to be good elsewhere.
Yep.
And then obviously with some of these guys, they do have injury issues. This guy has had past injuries. They are a pretty big concern. I think without that, he's probably up a little higher on the board, but I think the injuries are going to hold him down. So I know there's some Oregon fans out there or people who like to run the Oregon offense. We won't say who.
Ghost.
But anyways, so we'll go on to the next guy unless you guys have anything on Royce Freeman.
No, I've got nothing. I actually know nothing about him in real life. So
yeah, this is one that Rye threw in that nobody knows nothing about. So we'll just go to the next one.
I did that last year. Hey, Corey Davis, I did that last year. He turned out okay, so leave me alone.
Let's go with the 45-year-old Nick Chubb. He seems like he's been at Georgia for 10 years. In reality, he's only 22. He's 5'11", 228 pounds. Most of you guys know Nick Chubb from the grotesque knee injury on the sideline a few years ago. I think it was it a couple years ago?
Yeah, it was last year.
Yeah, 2 years.
Okay.
It was 2 years ago.
It was 2 years. It's taken him 2 years to fully be 100%, I believe. I know he played some last year, but he's a powerful, compact runner. He's similar running style to Ray Rice, nothing else. He's a great leader. All the intangibles. The guy fought hard to get back from injury. He didn't, he's one of those guys you want in the locker room. But like Freeman, that knee injury is kind of scary, and that's gonna hurt his stock a little bit. Do you guys see being higher than the fourth running back right now?
No, I mean, there's a lot of power backs still in this class, so it's not really much separation between. Well, Barkley is a huge one, and then you got who's the second guy we had?
Darius
Guys.
Yeah, guys. Yeah, but the next guys, Chubb, they're all and Freeman, they're all like more power backs. So
I could, if injuries weren't an issue with Chubb, I could see him going earlier than he probably will end up going. But with injuries being such a big deal so far this release, I could see him dropping slightly.
Right, and the crazy thing is if you guys remember last release, I believe Blaza got Nick Chubb, and he dominated with him.
Yeah.
So this could be if the knee holds up or if the injuries stay away, could be kind of like a sneaky little pick later in the third round range. I mean, like I said, halfbacks don't go very good in HK.
I hope he's there in the third round. I don't have any picks. Anyway, I would take him in a second for sure.
Well, you could have a pick if you traded Antonio Brown back.
Yeah, that's true.
Let's not get started on that one. All right, so after Chubb, we've put in the and we're gonna let one guy speak of this guy.
He sucks.
Up next is the 6'2", 228-pound number 9 from Roll Tide, Alabama. Guy, what are your thoughts on him?
Roll Tide. That's all you gotta say.
That was coming.
Nah, he's a power back, but he's got some good quickness to him.
Can't contain stuff right now.
But I mean, I'm not gonna say much because I'm biased.
Now, one of the scouts quoted saying, "Terrible vision makes Trent Richardson look like Gandhi." So
That scout was fired.
Yeah.
Plus, he went to Auburn.
I mean, so are you taking Bo in the first round? I mean, do we go ahead and mark that down?
I don't have a first round pick.
I'm sure you can find one for him, right?
Hopefully, he
If
falls in
Bo-
the
if-
third round. Third round.
If Bo gets out of the first round, I'm rolling with the tide.
Well, so we got Barkley, Geis, Freeman, Chubb, and Scarborough, and I think that's a pretty healthy order, in my opinion. I don't see much movement there. What do you guys think?
Yeah, it looks pretty good to me. I think Barkley and Geis are pretty easily the top two, and then the rest of them are kind of interchangeable, depending on what you're looking for, I guess.
Depending on who's picking, too. I could see Scarborough going number 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, keep in mind some of these guys pick based on name alone. They'll just look at the name and be like, "Oh, I know Bo. I'll pick him."
He's going to have truck. I mean, he's going to have 90-some truck. Well, I mean, not that much. But he's going to have pretty good trucking. Maybe not great speed. But that truck, I think, will sell it. And then the stiff arm. A lot of people like to use that. Also.
Terrible ball carrier vision. Terrible.
But does that matter that much, though?
John Riggins Jr.
John Riggins. That's a good comparison.
John Riggins.
I always wonder how much the ball carrier vision rating actually does matter if we're user controlling them.
That's the like that and elusiveness, right? That's like the $100 million question when it comes to halfbacks.
Yeah.
I feel like ball carrier vision, and I don't know this for sure, I feel like it helps the O-line block a little bit. It's kind of a crazy theory, but
I think I read somewhere that it helps them kind of get in between gaps that the O-line creates better.
I feel like the hole is just a little bit bigger if you have better ball carrier vision. If that makes sense.
Yeah, you don't get hung up on your lineman as bad.
Yeah.
Of course, we're probably all blowing smoke, and it could be like a dead attribute. We don't know. We'll never know, probably, but who knows? Let's jump over here to the wide receivers. This is a pretty interesting class. There's going to be some debate on who's the best. I kind of have my thoughts on who's the best out of this class, but we'll start with the top one, who is out of the Texas A&M University. It's Christian Kirk. He killed it in Hard Knocks last year for the Chargers. I mean, set records. It was annoying. But he's 5'11", 201 pounds. He's got tremendous raw speed and explosiveness. He's got excellent potential for the yards after catch, which is huge in the NFL, huge in Hard Knocks. The big thing for him, the big positive for me is he's going to come in with decent route running. So to me, I believe that's the number one attribute for wide receivers. And then you would talk about release and catch and all that, but route running is going to be the biggest one because they've got to be open. There's a couple of knocks on him, and you guys can read on the slide, but it seems like he has trouble catching the ball when he's hit. So your special catch rating, things like that, are going to be things that he's going to have trouble with. How do you guys feel about Kirk?
I mean, obviously, what he did last release, we all know of. But yeah, I think I think those last two knocks are kind of a big deal because catching traffic, and that release rating, if they're going to be low, I don't know if I want my number one receiver being low on those two.
He's the perfect slot receiver.
Right.
Plus, we're saying speed's you're not blowing past people like we were last year.
Right. Now,
I don't know if I want to spend a high pick on a slot receiver either.
Right, but he'll be elite. position. So yeah, I don't know. I think people will
Think
he'll go
about it.
high because of his speed. He'll have 94, 95 speed. He'll
Yeah, he's gonna have speed, and he's gonna be stiffness and all this good stuff. You think he's like Odell light? Maybe?
He was nicknamed Baby Beckham, I think, when he first
Yeah.
got to A&M. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, he was.
Mark that guy off my list. Forget him. Let's go to the next guy. Calvin Ridley. Roll Tide.
Ooh.
6'1", 190. Smooth and explosive. He does have top end speed, so he can score from anywhere. He's got great hands. He makes this special catch look easy. He's going to go up and get the ball. His biggest knock is that when you press him, he can't come off the ball. So his release is going to be not what you expect for this type of wide receiver.
Yeah, and the route running too. I mean, if you're not going to have, so he's kind of opposite a little bit of Kirk. It's going to be interesting to see which one goes first, the route runner or the guy that can catch the ball. Ridley catches everything, but maybe not the best route runner. Kirk's going to be the guy that, hey, he's not going to catch everything, but he's going to be a great route runner. Both are going to have high speed. Both are going to be have high acceleration. What are people going to go for? In my opinion, they'll probably end up going for Ridley, but we'll see.
And I think another underrated important factor, I don't know, maybe it's just me who looks at this more, is the age.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Because
23.
Kirk is 21, Ridley at 23. I mean, everything is automatically more expensive for him to upgrade. And once you hit 24, it jumps up even more. So I don't know if I'm the only one who else looks at that, but that could be a factor.
That's a good point.
Mhm.
Who's calling me?
Probably Simi.
Anyways, so we'll get past Calvin Ridley here, and we'll jump to the next guy, who is the guy that, in my opinion, is the best one in the class.
Texas.
Who I've got the little bit of a wide receiver man crush on. Cortland Sutton out of SMU. Right, give me your thoughts on him.
Well, he, like I said in the report, he's the perfect build for the position. 6'4", 216, maybe even bigger than that. Can jump, excellent vertical, perfect in the red zone. He's going to make all the tough and difficult catches. Very good blocker. He's not going to have the speed that Kirk and Ridley's going to have. He's probably not going to be as good of a route runner as Ridley, maybe a little better than Kirk, but he's a Fields clone. Big guy. He's going to catch everything. You put him at 1 or 2 receiver, and he's going to be elite for a long time. So I think honestly, a lot of people in the draft right now that I'm seeing have him potentially as the best receiver.
Yeah, in real life, I've seen him projected to go top 15.
Definitely, for sure. He's just too physically gifted not to.
Yeah, and for me, for me, this is like the dream wide receiver, right? I mean, this is Fields in our league right now. This will be Fields. So, let's jump over to another Oklahoma State player, wide receiver James Washington. He is 6 foot, 205 pounds. So he's more of he may be an outside guy, but I could see him more of a slot guy. He has decent route running. He excels at tracking the football. His biggest knock is he does drop the ball. So, his catch range is going to be not what you expect for maybe kind of the positives on him. But he's definitely a project slot wide receiver.
Yeah, he can jump, and he's going to have good speed, probably 90, 91. Decent route runner, low 80s probably coming out. But he will drop the ball. Catching won't be as high, and awareness probably very low. So it'll be interesting. He's kind of the ones we've looked at so far, he's clearly number 4 in my opinion. Kind of got 3 elite players and drop off late first, early second pick.
Yeah, and we all know wide receivers go off the board pretty quick in Hard Knocks. So I could and some worlds I could see all 5 of these guys coming off the board before the middle of the second round.
I agree.
Yep. Right.
So, we've gone through James Washington. So let's go on to Deion Kane out of Clemson. He's tremendously explosive, right? His top end speed is going to be those of the top 2 wide receivers. He has, as some scouts would say, an uncanny ability to make people miss in space. Great hands in traffic. Like you see it with James Washington, or like you see with some of these other guys, his route running is probably his biggest question mark. Considering, for me, that would be considering that's the trait that I look at, or attribute that I look at. But Kane's going to be a good find in the second round.
Yep, he's going to have low release, low route running, but he'll be pretty good in everything else. So, again, another slot receiver. How high do you want to take a slot receiver? I think he's going to go pretty high, especially.
And keep in mind, guys, like we don't know the development. So you could draft this guy in the second round, and he could be a superstar, and you could really make him a beast. We just don't know. We're playing Russian roulette with that. As far as it'll just be whatever it gives us in the game. We can't change it, so we're just going to do it that way.
Yeah. It's going to be the roll of the dice too. When we do we go in and if it's between 92 and 95, and it's a 95, he could end up being faster and a better player than Kirk.
Yep, absolutely. And I don't want to see no hashtag dice rolls either. All right, so we're getting to the back end of the first round. We're getting to I would say the potatoes part of the offense. Let's get over. Let's get over to the tight ends here, and good grief, I can't even announce half these names. The first tight end we got on the board is Troy
Fumagalli.
There you go. What he said. He's a. Who would you compare him to in the NFL? I mean, he's a good route runner, good hands, good
Jason
blocker.
Witten.
Do you think he's more of a Jason Witten type? I mean, when I see this scouting report, that's kind of what I envision.
Exactly.
The average speed and athleticism reminds me of Jason Witten, but everything else, everything on this just screams Jason Witten.
Right. He's not going to wow you with his speed, but dang it, he's going to catch the ball. He's going to get you the first down. He's going to move the chains.
He's going to find a way to be open every time.
Yep. He's going to do the dirty work on the line.
Yeah.
We won't spend.
Not a tub guy.
Yeah. No. Tubb likes the 88 speed tight end who can catch the corner route.
Exactly.
Yep.
This guy. Tubb's going to like the next guy.
Absolutely.
So speaking of the next guy, he's out of Penn State University, 6'6", 249. Mike.
Gesicki.
Go ahead, Rye.
Gesicki.
There you go. He can make plays downfield and attack the seam of the defense. So he's definitely going to be a tight end that's going to go downfield, spread it out, put him wide. He's going to be one of those ones that you're going to see high catch numbers, high yard numbers, high TD numbers. And at 6'6", he's going to be tremendously hard to even contain. The good thing about, or the bad thing for him, the good thing for the rest of Hard Knocks is he is a crappy blocker.
He's awful.
I was amazed by reading some of the scouting reports on how bad they had him as a blocker. Basically just saying he's basically a wide receiver. He has no ability to block, both either in the pass or in the run. So we'll have to reflect that.
So he's going to be one that it's going to be a real risk putting him in any situation where he needs a block. So, he's going to be your, what would you say? Like, I mean, when I see his name, and this is no comparison on the player, and I haven't really watched too much of Hunter Henry.
Yeah.
But that's kind of what I envision, like a guy that spreads the defense, but can't really block.
Agree.
So Darius Green.
Or that, somebody that's just tall, kind of lanky.
Yep.
Shouldn't really be playing tight end, but it's too big to play wide receiver.
Yeah, but he's going to catch everything. Decent route runner. I don't know. He's not as athletic as like a Jimmy Graham, but he's. I don't know. I think he's.
Did he play basketball in?
Yeah, he's someone that'll go in the first round for sure.
Yeah, I think a speedy tight end will probably go high despite the blocking.
So the top two guys are, in my opinion, probably clear and far away better, but the next three are pretty decent options. They're going to be, third round options or late second round options. Out of Arkansas, we have Mark Andrews, who is 6'5", 254. He has as you can see, he has a similar skill set to Hunter Henry.
Should be.
Decent route runner. And he's not really a freak athlete, so that's kind of a knock on him. And just like the guy before, he struggles in run pass blocking. So he's going to be kind of your middle of the road tight end. He's going to get you some first downs. He's going to make some plays, but is he really worth a higher pick?
Yeah, I mean he's going to be, I think, a early second round pick, maybe middle second. He's not going to be as elite as Gesicki in terms of his receiving ability, but he's still a pretty good player. So I think someone like this will still be 6'5", 254. He's still going to be a second round pick, maybe even the first.
All right, so the next guy coming up on the tight ends is Dallas Goedert.
Correct.
He's 6'4", 260. I have no idea what school he's out of.
South Dakota.
Okay.
Watch some of his film. I was pretty impressed by watching some of it. He catches everything. 6'4", big guy, 260. A lot of people think he will, like they said, will light up the combine, shoot up the boards. He doesn't play competition at all. Obviously, FCS competition is not going to help him. He will fumble a lot. And again, as with the other guys, a lot of these guys do not block at all. Probably the worst blocker in the class.
Good.
power clean of 400 pounds. They expect maybe a 4.6 40. So I think he's going to be a freak athlete. And surprisingly, I think maybe one of the better tight ends in the draft if he lives up to some of the scouts' hype that I've seen recently.
This is a Tubb tight end. This is a guy Tubb will sneak up and grab and then brag to us about his catching and his speed.
For sure.
All right, so we've down 4 tight ends. Let's go to the next one. And it is Alizé Mack.
Mack. Again, nothing spectacular here. 6'4", 250, 22 years old. Fluid runner. He will get yards after the catch for a tight end. Like I said, elite shovel time expected. They think he'll do better than Howard Ingram in this, in those drills, but lost season due to academic ineligibility, and he's basically a pure project. Not a lot of skills as a pass catcher, but he's going to have some speed. He's going to be able to run. He'll be able to get after it once you get him the ball, but he's not real skilled at the position yet.
All right, so we've gone through the skill positions and the tight ends on the offense. Let's jump over to the offensive line, and this is probably the offensive. Something must have happened in Bengals game.
No, I'm looking at the picture for this guy.
But the offensive tackles and the cornerstone of your offensive line is your offensive tackle, and it's probably the number 2 franchise player that you need behind the quarterback. So the first rated offensive tackle is Trey Adams. He's going to be comparable to Chandler Slater on the draft class. He's 6'7", 310 pounds.
Monster.
He's got great feet, mauler, so he's gonna just punch you in the mouth. But one of the biggest knocks is he's just not photogenic.
No, he's an ugly dude. He's really an ugly dude. If I thought of Tim, this is what I think Tim looks like.
I mean, anyways, I don't have anything to say. I'm speechless.
6'7", 310. He'll be a top 5 pick.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, he's a beast of an offensive tackle. Now here's an interesting one that we got on here. It's Connor Williams. He's the junior out of Texas, so he's young. So he's 20. He's 6'6", 320. Great run blocker. He's mean as we would call in Texas, mean as a snake. Just punches people in the mouth.
Is that fair? Is this accurate, you think?
Yeah. He's a very nasty offensive tackle. He's a throwback tackle. So if you remember back in the early 90s, he's that kind of player. And that's the knock on him too, is the aggressiveness is what hurts as well.
I think the biggest knock is that last one.
Yeah, that is true. We're skipping that. But anyways, on to the next guy, since y'all are going to rag on me in my school. Not all of us can be Ohio State.
Yeah, hat.
Not all of us can be Alabama.
Yeah, guy.
I think Connor Williams is a top 20 pick, in my opinion.
Agree. Maybe higher.
And I will make that happen. Trust me.
And again, that age thing really helps him. 20 is really young.
Yep.
You get three years of cheap upgrades.
And imagine this, like in real life. So he's 20, right? In real life, Tyron Smith came out when he was 20. That dude's been in the league forever now, but he's not even hit 30 yet.
Really?
Yeah.
How old is he?
He came out in 2011, so he's like 28.
26.
26. There you go. and he's the best offensive tackle in the NFL. So the age does matter. Maybe not as much in Hard Knocks, but in real life it will. All right, so down to the third tackle, Mike McGlinchey out of Notre Dame. He's got long arms, so defenders have a trouble, getting their hands on him at all. He is probably, and Ryan can probably give you more detail about it, but he's probably the best pass blocker that we've gone through so far.
For sure. Definitely. Best pass blocker, but he's not going to run block. So it depends on what you want. But yeah, he's going to be the guy that's going to put it left tackle, and like a Joe Thomas type in a way. Not
right. He's going to be,
but yeah, similar.
He's going to be more your left tackle, whereas like a Connor Williams is going to be more your right tackle type. That's going to be a mauler, So I could see McGlinchey going late 1, early 2. He could probably improve a little bit on the run blocking. I mean, but if you're a passing team, I see some of these guys, they have really bad tackles.
Yep.
So he's going to definitely be an upgrade for somebody.
No.
Now we'll jump over to the next tackle, which is Mitch Hyatt. He's quick, good pass blocker, good balance, very smart guy.
I don't like the picture here.
I put that in there.
The hardest thing for him is the size.
Right.
Being under 300 pounds and being on the edge, I just don't know how that's going to help him with the bigger defensive ends, especially like in your 3-4 schemes.
Yeah, that's a good question. We'll see. He's a won't be as good as the guy before him, but he'll be a late second round pick probably.
All right, and the last tackle we have in our report, and really not trying to blow through all the offensive line, but you guys really don't care about that. No, all y'all cared about was quarterback, running back, wide receiver.
Right.
So and you're probably itching to get the defense, so we'll get there. The next guy is Orlando Brown out of Oklahoma. Some of you may have heard of his dad. If you remember a flag hitting a guy in the face,
Zeus.
I believe that's his dad. He's a huge guy.
He dominated this weekend. He dominated last week. Ohio State.
Yeah, he's got big hands. He does his pass blocking is tremendous, especially with the lack of speed that he has. The only question about him is how long can he hold the block? So right now at Oklahoma, Baker Mayfield gets the ball ridiculously fast. So he's going to have to be able to let the quarterback go through a few more reads than they do at Oklahoma. And that's probably why he's the 5th offensive tackle right now on the board.
Correct.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, so let's jump over here to the guards.
This is really boring. Getting into the boring guards.
Yeah, we can just go through it. I see there's a Bama guy and an Ohio State guy. Nobody cares about that. There's a Florida guy.
Yeah,
UCLA. I mean,
we'll stay on the UCLA guy though. I know Tubb wants that.
Okay, so we'll start off with the first guard. He's 6'5", 335 out of Notre Dame. Quentin Nelson, and we know that Notre Dame produces tremendous guards. Zach Martin, Nick Martin. He would have been a first-round pick last year if he even came out into the draft. He's comparable to Logan Mankins. I don't even know if Mankins is still in the league, but if you guys remember, he was a mainstay for Tom Brady for a while. And he is a steamroller with a quote-unquote prick mentality. If you need to know what prick means, message Rye on the side. I'm not going to try to explain it.
I didn't say scout.
So he's nasty. He loves to take the cheap shots. He's going to get under your skin. He's going to be the Richie Incognito of HK. He's going to fight. He's going to just street fight you. He's a street fighter guard.
Exactly.
All right, I'll let Hat announce this guy. This is this is up his alley. Billy Price.
Oh, Rye made this slide. He's got the size and athleticism to be a very good run blocker. Pass blocking is a little lacking. And if you watch any Ohio State games, you would know that. He's savvy and experienced. And Rye put this, I did not, but he won a national title in 2014 blocking for the best running back in the NFL.
Sorry.
Which is
true.
I'm sure some people have some thoughts about that last part of the statement. Has enough raw power to generate some movement at the point of attack. So he'll have some physical aspects to him. And then he does have some problems with penalties, which has also doomed Ohio State at times.
No, let me ask you this: was it the line or was it the back that made the line? The line make the back, or the back make the line?
Are we talking about
in 2014?
Zeke.
It was Zeke who made the line. No, the line was really good.
It was both. They were both good.
It was both, yeah.
Taylor Decker and some of those guys. Yeah, I think they were. I think also the ability to throw the ball downfield, but we don't want to get into that.
Yeah, let's move on.
We'll move on to Florida's Martez Ivy, 6'5", 305. Raw strength, so makes him very aggressive when you're running the ball. But he has no bend or fluidity to keep defenders out of the backfield. So that tells me that he is going to struggle in pass blocking. Would that be your assessment, Rye?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Okay, on to the next guy.
He's really boring.
Roll Tide rolled. On to the next guy.
Yeah, Ross. You can't pronounce his name.
Ross.
Come on, guy. Hirschbacher, right? Hirschbacher? Hirsch.
Did we lose Guy? Did
I
he
think-
fall asleep on
I
us?
think guys, yeah, he's out.
No, I think he has an HK game.
Okay.
So you got the guard. The next one is the guard out of Alabama, 6'4", 303. He's big, strong run blocker, and like a couple of these offensive linemen, he is nasty.
Right.
He can play multiple positions, so you can put him at guard, you can put him at center, you can put him at right guard. I mean, he's one of those guys.
Yep.
He's probably going to be, guards don't go tremendously high. Third round pick. He'll probably be somewhere. He'll probably sit a year behind somebody, and then somebody will try to trade him for a second round pick. I could see that happening.
Okay, next.
Scott Quisenberry.
This guy's
Go ahead.
Not an athlete. Yikes.
nah, he's not an athlete. He has to work on his strength. He plays in the mid-major Pac-12. He really has, I don't know. It's not. He doesn't play that level of competition you're going to need. Not a run. He's a good run blocker, but he's not going to really be able to block in the pass. He's going to get beat a lot. So I don't know.
So you're
Third or fourth
telling
round
me
pick. He's boring.
he's a project.
Yeah, his the guy he's replacing, I think, is a 6th round grade. So
Yeah, so
All right,
good luck whoever picks him.
All right, let's jump over to the centers, and we'll just breeze through these. These we'll post these slides later so you guys can look through them. And do all the stuff. But we got Brian Allen out of Michigan State. He's a mauler, good strength. Probably the top center. But, he's going to snap the ball and then kind of just let the defensive tackle just run right by. So he does have trouble protecting the quarterback.
Yeah, and he's also with all these centers in the draft, like in the game. I think there's one guy with a 2nd round grade, and everyone else is like 4th, 5th, 6th. So
Right.
it's really a kind of a dice roll at this point.
Yeah.
Right. And then so you jump from Brian Allen to Mason Cole out of Michigan, another Big
Ooh.
Ten center. He's a
Yeah,
smart
he sucks. We
blocker,
can move on.
excellent strength. He does pass protect well, but we'll just move on.
next.
Will
Clapp.
Yep. LS who? Nobody cares. Next.
Next. Alec Eberle. Florida State. No one.
No
Again,
one cares about Florida
cares
State.
either. Next. A hog.
Oh, an Arkansas
Big
guy.
Dewey.
Where's Smalls to talk about this Arkansas guy?
He was gonna come on, but he decided at the last minute.
Frank Ragnall now rounds out our offensive players. Bottom rated center, 5th, 6th round pick. He does
Yeah, I
block
think
well.
I think he's actually better than the 6th round grade that the game gives this Scott Fisher dude. So he might be somewhat of a steal if you're going just by the in-game grades, but this is HK and no one cares about those in-game grades.
I literally just got a text from Pitt. What is a prick? That's
What is a what?
what is a prick? What is a prick? Sorry, Pitt.
All right.
All right.
So I think we can move on to defense now. This is
Yep.
where it
Let's go
gets
to
interesting.
defense. Okay, go.
Let's jump over to defensive ends. Right, you ready?
Let's
All
let
right.
Hat do this. Hat did a lot of these. He did all of them, actually.
Yeah, I'm just gonna lead right into him. He can just tell me how they are.
Go.
All right.
Okay, so defensive end. You got the first defensive end is Arden Key out of LSU. Go ahead, Hat.
He's the best pass rusher in the game or in the class. He doesn't miss a tackle. He can be over aggressive. Play actions and such can cause him to bite. He knows how to close lanes in the run game, and he's really, really good at using his speed to rush the quarterback.
You know what's crazy about him isn't in like you look at Kuiper stuff, and they're talking about him being like the number 1 pick.
Yeah, I've seen.
Yeah,
that.
I mean he's a stud. Right? Actually, him and the next guy. The next guy is also probably the 2 best pure pass rushers, and then one of the outside linebackers as well.
Is he better than Garrett?
I don't think he's better.
Different.
Yeah, he's different.
So
the next,
yeah, you can
Go
go to the
ahead.
next guy.
no, go ahead, Bob.
Dorrance Armstrong Jr., the Rock Chalk Jayhawk.
This might be an Adrian pick. The only Kansas fan I know.
Is he really?
Adrian, yeah.
I feel
think.
sorry for him.
I
Ew.
think he's more of a Kansas basketball than football fan, but that's probably understandable. He's really good again at using his speed to rush the quarterback. He struggles in the run game. He can get blocked up on blocks and kind of taken out of the game entirely. Good tackler, and he's very good at play recognition. He does not let play actions or play fakes and whatnot fool him.
So Key and Armstrong are clearly 1-2 in the defensive end category.
Yeah, easily. And then
you jump over to Trenton Thompson out of Georgia. He's 6'4", 295.
Yeah, 6'4", 295, 21 years old. He's more of a 3-4 end. He's surprisingly good at using, or he's surprisingly more athletic than his size lets on. Again, a good tackler, pretty decent run defender. And despite his size, he's not that good at using his power to rush the quarterback. He's kind of a one-trick pony on that end.
Interesting.
Well, then who put this guy in the list?
Sam.
He's 6'5", 265, and I'll just let you Google or whatever you need to do all over him.
I'll let Rye talk about this one.
Yeah, he excels in the run, excels in the pass. He just excels. He's the best player probably in the draft.
I said somebody has a favorite player.
I'm here to help.
I mean, is this your favorite player in the draft, Rye? Be honest.
Nah, he's not. I think there's my favorite. Barkley would probably be the most fun to play with. The two receivers, Kirk and Ridley, will be fun. But yeah, if I had to pick somebody, I would take Hubbard. If I had a top 10 pick, this is like I got Bosa last year.
Interesting.
That was garbage.
He was a beast.
He was.
That wasn't fair.
Alrighty. So
and then to round out the defensive ends, we've got Josh Sweat from Florida State, who he was one of the top recruits coming out of high school. He hasn't quite lived up to it yet. He's had some injury issues, but he's a great run defender.
He's only a felon.
I don't know. Is he?
Probably.
I don't know.
Florida State.
Did you say felon?
Yeah, I think he has a felon.
Yeah, I mean, he went to Florida State, so he probably is a felon. But
wow.
I'm not even. I thought he.
That's your hot take of the night. He went to Florida State. He probably is a felon.
Well, I mean, it does kind of fit the mold, right?
Dalvin Cook's a felon. He went to Florida State.
Dalvin Cook's a felon?
It's not exaggerating.
Yeah, he was.
Telling the truth.
Dalvin Cook was he was charged with
like
animal brutality.
Yeah,
and he has
It's just part of the way they recruit down
there. But yeah, about Sweat, he's again good tackler, good against the run. He is a raw pass rusher. He has the tools to be really good at it, but he's not quite there yet. And he's good at reading and recognizing plays. But he went to Florida State, so he's probably really stupid.
Okay, fair enough. Well, that rounds out the defensive ends. We'll jump over here to the tackles, and the first tackle on the board is Dayron Payne out of Alabama.
Oh, where's Guy? He's 6'2", 308. He is more of a nose tackle. He's a great run defender. Again, a good tackler. He's not great as a pass rusher. He's got to work on that. And he's almost always around the ball. He knows what's happening before it happens.
All righty. And then the other guy that was in the Natty last year, Christian Wilkins, is our next defensive tackle. He plays for Clemson. 6'4", 300 pounds. What do the reports say about him?
He's a great pass rusher, pretty decent run defender. He's not a great tackler, so he'll clog up holes, but he'll probably need some help to actually bring down running backs. And again, he's good at reading plays, pretty decent at it. I think he's also kind of he's probably a late first, I would say.
Yeah, he was. I think I had him last season or last Hard Knocks with the Saints. He was pretty decent for me. A little bit of a project, but he projects a little better now. All right, so we've been through Alabama, Clemson. Let's go to
This next
another.
guy, we can just skip him.
Well, you got to talk about him some. Maurice Hurst Jr. And you, out of all people, should know a little bit about him.
What does that mean?
Yeah.
Well, you and Rye, you Ohio State fans.
He's a good run defender, but he's a little undersized at 280.
280.
Yeah.
That's a big 280.
Yeah, 6'2", 280. So he's kind of round.
Yeah.
Round.
He's not a great pass rusher, so again, he's probably more of like a 3-4 guy. But that 280 is also kind of an issue.
Yeah,
so.
I was gonna say can't really put a nose tackle.
So yeah, it's really, I mean, maybe not a nose tackle. You could put him maybe as a D end in a 3-4 situation, possibly, but he's kind of a tweener, so it's gonna be interesting to see how someone uses him.
Well, I'm kind of disappointed that Rod's not here to defend his Florida State guys because there's another one on the board at defensive tackle next. Derek Noddy.
I don't know how this last name is said, but it sounds
I don't know
right.
how to say half of these. 6'1", 312. Please tell me this guy's not a felon.
No, I don't think he is.
Are we sure? He doesn't have anything on it. Wait, I'm looking. I bet he has something on his record. And see, when I say this, there are very intelligent people that go there.
Yeah.
Is that fair?
While Rye's looking at that, he excels at shedding blocks. He's a great tackler, a good tackler. Like most of these defensive tackles, they have an inability to pass rush. They don't really use their power to disrupt the pocket or mess up the quarterback. So it seems like a more of a run stuffing group overall so far.
Yeah, I think outside of Wilkins, every other one has been really more of a run defender than a pass rusher. This last one is kind of interesting to me because he's huge, 6'5", 340. Vita Vea out of Washington. Good run defender, good tackler, but man, he struggles rushing the quarterback, and he bites at play actions all the time. And then, but again, 6'5", 340. He's got probably like a fourth round grade.
The biggest thing about him is that dude can eat up some space.
Yeah, I mean, this is a prototypical nose tackle. This is where you want him.
Like, that's a big dude.
Yeah, just clog up space in the middle. Yeah, let everyone else do all the work. He'll just clog up the space in the middle.
So that last guy from Florida State, no criminal record, but he squats 750 pounds.
Man,
he benches. Yeah, I did not mean to say anything mean about this guy. He seems like a great dude. They say he's the strongest guy in the NFL by far, or strongest guy in college football by far. Anyway.
That is crazy.
He's
700 pounds?
He's a beast. 750 squat, power clean, 450. That seems like a lot. Anyway. Fun.
All right, so let's jump out to the linebackers, and we'll start with the outside linebackers. And as most of you know, this is kind of the position that gets swallowed up in the first round every year. Before you know it, in a blink of an eye, everybody's gone, and then then you get messages like, "What the hell? Somebody took my guy."
Right.
And it's mostly middle linebackers that go higher than outside linebackers, but I think you'll see this release that outside linebackers will be a little bit more enticing, especially this class maybe.
Especially this guy.
Yeah.
Harold Landry is, most draft analysis and whatnot, like scouts, they all have him as behind Key, the second best pass rusher in the draft. The only knock, the only knock I guess they have on him, not knock, but like if he was a little bigger, he would probably be a defensive end. But at 6'3", 250, he's a great run defender. He's got great speed, which is probably why he's been playing some outside linebacker as well. Great pass rusher, and then he's just really, really good at reading plays. But his one knock is that he's just a speed guy. He's against the bigger blockers, he can kind of get swallowed up.
So he can't put his hand in the dirt and go. He has to be upright on his feet and basically just kind of run around the end or the tackle.
Yeah, pretty much. If he's not getting around the tackle, then he's probably not going to be doing much in terms of pass protection. But he'll get around the tackle pretty often.
All right, we move on to the next guy. My man.
I'll let you talk about this one, Bob.
Malik Jefferson. He's 6'3", 240. He's out of the University of Texas at Austin. He's great in coverage. His speed, he's got tremendous speed. He's always had good play rec. Some of his biggest knocks is he can't get around the blockers. Sometimes if he gets on a bigger guard or tackle, they'll eat him up. And you can see that quite a bit in some of his tape in space. Some of the bigger guards in college football will just swallow him up. I think as he gets older and gets a little stronger and a little more adept to the game, then he can be able to shed. Because he is a little bit light for his position, but his speed makes up for it. In Hard Knocks, he'll be a first-round pick. I can guarantee it. Probably top freaking 10.
Can he play the middle?
I think he can play middle. I think, especially as if you user him,
yeah, that's what
he'll be a really good middle linebacker.
He'll be
it's all going to be how he comes out with the play rec and some of the other linebacker skills. So, this is my pick. So everybody stay away.
Yeah, he's kind of one of those tweeners between being an outside linebacker and a middle linebacker.
I will
interchange him.
I will boot you, Kate Petty. I am not kidding. I will drop the hammer on you. All right, so let's go over to another Florida State guy who, God forbid, good grief, I hope he's not a felon.
Awesome.
It's
I don't know. Right, get on Google.
Matthew Thomas, and I'll let you take this one over.
So this is one of those. He's very raw kind of guys. He was one of the top recruits out of high school and has battled injuries. I think last year was his first almost full season, but he is an incredibly smart player. He has pretty decent coverage, but his two biggest knocks is that he, just like Malik Jefferson, he struggles to get around some of the bigger blockers, and he struggles against the run. He's really just more of a coverage guy, but he's got good speed, so he might be a good user guy out there.
It seems like he has no girth on him. Like he's just not big. He's
6'4", 227. Yeah, that's pretty small.
There's safeties in the NFL that are that much in weight. It'll be interesting. He seems like more of a project, in my opinion.
Yeah. Hopefully, you could, if you get some nice dev on him, He could be a.
The headline on this guy, it's official. Florida State Matthew Thomas will not get through one season of his entire college career without drama. Anyway, it always never fails.
So you're saying his awareness is low?
Yeah. He's got problems off the field.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's what it was. I think he was suspended for a year.
I think that's how Jimbo does it. Like, you have off the field problems. All right, that's check. Then he goes to the speed check, and it just fits his mold.
So basically, he has a Madden draft class in front of him, and he's like, speed, speed, speed.
Yep.
Speed.
Yep.
Oh, this guy's not very smart. Oh, he's got 95 speed. Speed,
Yep.
speed.
Exactly. That's all that matters. And if you saw it in that Alabama game, it showed up. Those guys were nasty. They were nasty.
Well, let's jump over to what some would call Ole Piss. Marquis Hayes, 6'3", 230. And I'm kidding about the Ole Piss. It's Ole Miss.
Right.
Don't nobody tweet me. I don't need any tweets. I don't need 4 pages of Discord chat or anything about this. So he's 6'3", 230, and then above average edge rusher, good tackler. Like some of these other guys, especially like Malik, he has problems shedding blocks in the run game. The one downside he really has, though, is he struggles in coverage, and I think that's going to hurt him in the long run.
I think he's more of, again, like Landry. He's more of a 3-4 outside linebacker. You probably don't really want to put him in coverage much.
Yeah, he's going to be, here's the quarterback, just run point A to point B and get the ball or get the quarterback.
For a good user, he might be fun to user too, because he'll have the speed to kind of get around.
Well, I know 2 users that are probably salivating to draft him.
All right, to round out the outside linebackers, this guy was a late addition, but we have Porter Gustin out of USC, the Tub special.
Good inside linebacker.
What?
Sorry, I just wanted to.
He's 6'5", 255, so he's pretty big. He's a good pass rusher, good at reading plays, and just like a lot of these other guys, he's not a great run defender, and the big guys, big blockers, will just swallow him up easily, which you wouldn't think given his size, but he plays much less physical than his size would suggest.
So out of that group, I guess Landry is probably the clear favorite.
Yeah, I guess it comes down to what your scheme is. If you're a 3-4 guy, Landry is your top guy. Malik's not really going to be in a 3-4 much.
No, he's the worst one of the group. Nobody draft him.
I agree.
I think there are a couple guys on here. Go ahead.
I was just going to say Porter Gustin. Sounds soft. Porter? I don't know. I don't know what is he a tough guy or he seems like he's
he went to USC, so
right.
he really
he's
can't.
A California kid. He's probably not going to have a lot of toughness will probably. Anyway, you can keep going. Sorry.
His name sounds like he makes bread.
Exactly. Porter. Awesome. No, I don't get it. Anyway, keep going.
All right, let's jump over here to the inside linebackers. The cream of the crop of HK, in my opinion, probably the most drafted position.
Yep.
In the first round, without a doubt. And the first one is out of Washington. We got Azim Victor. And that is an incredible name. Like, I think I would draft this guy on his name alone. But I will let you guys discuss his scouting report.
He's a phenomenal tackler, which, of course, as a middle linebacker you want. Pretty good in coverage. And he's a great run defender. I mean, he's easily the top middle linebacker in the class. But at 6'3", 231, he might be slightly undersized. But he'll be a good user guy, especially with his coverage ratings. And his biggest knock is just really that he's somewhat slow to getting to the ball, but if you're using him, that may not be an issue.
All right, so we go from Victor to Rashawn Evans out of Alabama.
I'll let you take this one, Bob.
Oh, you would get me in the middle of another conversation here. Hang on. All right. He's exceptional at reading and reacting right off snap, so the guy has tremendous play recognition. He takes good angles in pursuit, and he's above average in coverage. So I would say the one knock, and most scouting reports will tell you the one knock is it's just a reoccurring thing with the whole linebacker class is he has trouble shedding the block, especially when it comes to getting the running back. So that's really the only knock on him. I mean, he's 6'3", 234, so he's a little light on his feet. But man, you talk about a guy that can read the play. That is Rashawn Evans. And we'll stick with the Alabama theme here. We'll go with Sean Dion Hamilton, who is 6 foot 235. Alabama needs to feed their linebackers.
Yeah, I mean, this guy is really undersized. 6 foot is small.
Speed.
Right. Right. This is like safety weight.
Yeah. I mean, he's a good tackler, though. He's good in coverage. And just like Bob said, it's a reoccurring theme. Struggles to get around blockers, and I guess with that 6 foot 235, you could kind of see that coming. And he's not great at recognizing plays, so you might want to user this guy.
Yeah. And that's really what separates him and Evans is the play recognition.
Yeah, I mean they're basically opposites in that aspect.
Needs to get some of the PEDs that Reuben Foster's on.
Or Brian Cushing. I mean,
yeah, or Cushing. Those guys are quality individuals. Okay, next.
All right, we got the Virginia Cavalier, Micah Kaiser, 6'2", 240. He delivers the big hit. He changes the game. He causes the fumble that your team needs. He's that type of player. Like, he's going to go get the ball. He has a great ability to stay back in coverage and track developing routes. So he can, he's got good zone coverage. His biggest downside and probably biggest issue is he's really slow to read the play at first, and that's just going to be taking time. So he's going to be a guy that's going to be a good user player. I still could see him going pretty early. It just depends on what you're looking for in the linebacker.
The hits. Absolutely. I would take this guy. If he runs a decent 40, he's got good speed with the hitting ability, and you want to use the middle linebacker.
Oh, for sure. I mean, like I said, I don't envision any of these guys making it past the second round or the mid-second round.
This last guy might. This last guy, and that's not my OSU bias or anything talking, but Mike McCray out of Michigan, 6'4", 242. He has good instincts. He's good at fighting through bigger blockers to get to the ball. So he's probably the one good run defender in this list of, outside of Azim Victor. But his biggest knock is that he's really, really bad in coverage. He's not the fastest guy. So he's probably really only a 2-down backer, which I'm not sure in a league like HK that's not really in demand.
Kind of like David Harris, like 2 down, won't have much crazy speed, but he'll be good in the run game though. So
the problem with his lack of speed is that it's really hard to user him too and make up for that coverage. So he'll be an interesting pick. He might just be a late round kind of depth pick.
So Mo, what's the score of the game? Goat game.
A goat is a duck.
Ah, okay.
That way.
Ooh.
The goat duck.
Sim win for Mo.
caught them hands. That's why he's afraid. So yeah.
Absolutely, the Jets.
He's probably blue level.
That's usually what 2 and 4 does for you.
Yeah, well, he's done.
All right,
next?
let's jump over. Let's jump over defensive backs, and let's start off with cornerbacks. We got I-Man Marshall out of Southern Cal.
He's 6'1", 205. He's great in off-man situations. He's physical at the line, so all you man or press guys out there will love him. And he's as good of a tackler as you can get at the corner position. And then his biggest knock is really just that play fakes can get him, and he's a little slow to reading a play.
Top 10 pick?
Yeah. He's got pretty decent speed. He doesn't have exceptional speed, so he can get beat by some of the faster guys. But it's respectable speed. Probably will be in like the low 90s. And everyone loves playing zone, right? So this guy's probably going to be up there.
These corners, looking at the list, these corners are tall.
Yeah, all of these corners have great size, especially the next guy.
Go ahead.
Oh, no. So the next guy out of LSU, again, this is like SEC dominant. Kevin Tolliver, he's 6'3". He's got good speed. So for all of you who might pass on Marshall, he might be the option to go with. He's good. He's really, really good at man coverage. And again, he's just like Marshall. He's good at the line. He's physical. He'll throw a receiver off their route. And he's good at play recognition. That said, he's not a great tackler, but if you don't really care about that in a corner, he might be your top pick.
Well, that brings us to the next guy, and I hope Rye's got the Google ready. Tavares McFadden out of Florida State University. The scouting report says he excels in man-to-man, good tackler, a really good tackler for a corner, and reads plays and reacts well. But his biggest problem is the off-man coverage. So, it seems like the double moves, things like that, he just is not going to be able to handle or anything. He's not going to be able to play the zone correctly or really anything like that. So let's hope this guy is not a felon.
He is not. It looks like he has a clean record. So
awesome. And just I reiterate one more time, just as you look at the slides, remember that the player name below the picture is the name that he is in the draft class. So that'll be what you'll want to scout if you want McFadden or, whoever else you want. That's the player. Just please pay attention.
And this is another guy with a pretty decent speed too. So,
oh yeah, he's a 5-star.
Yeah, he's the Florida State guy, so he's got speed.
So that was a given, so I didn't even say it.
But I would say these three are probably the top three easily. And then I guess depending on whether you want a man or zone corner, Marshall's probably, I guess, I would say Tolliver is probably the number one guy on this, just due to his speed and man coverage. But Marshall's zone coverage could probably, for those who like zone.
You want to round us out on these last two guys, since you've done since the first three are kind of the clear-cut favorites of the class?
Sure. I don't know how to say this guy's name. Jair Alexander out of Louisville. He's probably best in his zone scheme because his speed isn't great. He'll probably be in that upper 80s range. He's okay at man coverage, but you're probably going to want to put a safety up top against some of the faster guys. And he's not a great tackler. He's likely to miss a lot of those. So again, a safety around the area would probably be best for him. And then the last guy, Jordan Thomas from Oklahoma. He's a great man coverage guy. He's pretty poor in zone. He's pretty small, 6 foot, 185. I mean, he'll get bullied at the line against some of the bigger receivers, and he's got elite jumping skills. So you're not going to really win many jump balls against him.
Which is oddly strange because he's only 6 foot. So, I mean, that really makes that jumping skill stand out even more.
All right.
So let's jump over to the safeties then. And I feel like
this is the fun stuff.
Yeah, I feel like this safety class is really good.
Yeah.
And look who they're created by.
Yeah. I feel like I know 2 users that are already going to be like, I need a safety, I need a safety, I need a safety. And they're both part of the admin group. So the first safety is the unquestionably most overrated player in Madden 17 that we ever had. And I'll let you describe him going forward.
Well, this is my favorite guy in the class, obviously.
And he got no negatives?
No, he got no negatives.
Yeah, this guy has nothing wrong with him. I don't know why he went to Florida State. It's too good.
6'3", 211. I guess his knock could be that he's got injury issues, if that's really a knock. Well, it could be actually in this release. But 6'3", 211. He's got great coverage skills, both man and zone for a safety. He's a big tackler and a hard hitter as well. And I got 0 negatives here. So if you guys want to make up,
he's the perfect safety.
He went to Florida State. That's the only negative.
He could play,
there you go.
He could play free or strong. No problem.
Actually, what's crazy is he's kind of like. I mean, I was reading something, and this doesn't correlate to our league, but I was reading something, and they're going to have him playing defensive end, linebacker, safety. I mean,
yeah, they're going to have him everywhere.
Is he only 211? I thought he was bigger than that.
Yeah, it's his Florida State's website says 211, so I'm going by that. I've seen some mock drafts that have him like top 3, which is great. I guess Jamal Adams went up there for a safety too, but
right.
he's probably even better than Jamal Adams, and he's a freak athlete. So it's gonna be in real life. It's gonna be interesting to see where he goes, because some people say he's the best athlete in the class, but who's gonna take a safety at number 1?
Right.
I wouldn't put it past anybody in our league. I wouldn't put it past anybody.
That brings me to the next guy, Minkah Fitzpatrick, out of, once again, Alabama. 6'1", 202. So this guy's kind of an interesting one. He played primarily corner during his last 3 years. Last season, he was kind of forced into the safety position because of injuries. And a lot of people think that he'll actually get as a safety, where he can kind of sit back and read the quarterback, because that's one of his strengths. He's good at coverage. He's better at man than he is at zone, but he can play both. And he's one of those guys you could probably also shift him over to a corner if you need to. He's an okay tackler, can probably get better at that.
I feel like with him, you have that, like you said, that option of moving him back to corner or leaving him at safety. I think that adds to his value.
Right. And that's why I think he could maybe go ahead of Derwin James, because Fitzpatrick also has elite and speed. If those reports out of Bama are to be believed that he ran a 4.39. But
I told Guy to quit typing those up.
He's not as good of a tackler or anything as Derwin James, but he might be better in coverage. So, it's all down to what you need in a safety.
So basically, you're keeping the theme with the next guy then. You got the other Alabamas. Other Bama safety, Ronnie Harrison.
Yep, and he's good at coverage. He's better at zone than Minka Fitzpatrick will be. He's also good at recognizing plays. Good in pursuit. Won't ever really take a bad angle to the ball carrier. But he does need to improve his tackling as well. He's probably, Derwin James are clearly the top two, and then there's a step down to Ronnie Harrison.
All right, so we got Fitzpatrick, Harrison out of Bama. And then with the third pick of the HK draft, Pit for Light selects Jordan Whitehead out of Pittsburgh.
So 5'11", 195, good tackler, reads plays well, good in pursuit, but he's not much in coverage. So he'll be more of a user guy. You don't really want to leave him back there playing coverage much.
Sorry, the Indians just tied it in the 9th. 2 outs, man at first, double, 2-2.
Wrong sport. Wrong sport.
Hey, 23 games in a row, man.
And to wrap up the line of HK favorite teams, we'll go to Marcus Allen out of Penn State. 6'2", 207. He's a big hitter, and he's good at he's got good instincts at the snap, but he takes some poor angles to the ball, and he's not a great tackler. So when he gets there, he'll hit you hard, but that's about all he'll do.
All righty. Well, that wraps up our draft class. So a couple of final thoughts from you guys. And I'm going to put you on the spot, both of you. Name your top 10.
Whoa.
Wow.
Top 10.
Well, Darnold, definitely. Derwin.
I think it'll be Darnold, Derwin.
Don't take the users into account. Name your talent, your top 10 talent, or your top 5 talent, whatever you think.
Trey Adams, Ridley, Kirk.
I think
Key. That outside linebacker from Boston College. Possibly Minka. I think Tolliver.
I think Minka will go up.
Tolliver, and that's it.
Is that 10? All right, I'll do my 10. I'll go Darnold. This is top 10 in no particular order. I'll go just talent, right? Not like who I actually think will drop or be drafted top 10.
Right.
Oh, Marcus Allen. Hey. Sorry. I just came back.
Welcome.
Came back at a perfect time. What happened?
My top 10, I would go Darnold, Barkley, Kirk. Actually, Kirk and Ridley. And then Key, Landry, Tolliver, Minka, Derwin. I think that's 10. It might be 9.
See, that just proves that, like, what we're doing and the talent that we're infusing with names that we know is really freaking hard to pick a true top 10.
Yeah, there's a lot of really good guys in this draft. It's a pretty loaded class, especially on defense. When I was going through that, a lot of really good pass rushers, which with the way HK is now, I think
it's loaded. It was like at least 4.
Yeah, the top 2, I think.
Yeah, and I feel like the quarterbacks too. I think it's loaded there.
Yeah.
At least probably go 5 deep in the first round. The quarterbacks probably. That's the linebackers speed. Mm-hmm.
It looks like we've waned on our viewers and Rye waned on our slides.
Sorry. My 12-year-old
watching the Indians game.
He came in jumping up and down. I'm like, what? I was like, something's wrong. He's like, they tied it. So I had to go see what he was talking about. Sorry.
Going for the record, man. I know what it is.
What channel is this on?
23 in a row.
There's
what
nothing like.
This, Rye?
It's Fox Sport or Sports Time Ohio, 662 DirecTV. It's the 10th inning.
There's nothing like sports, really.
Nope. I agree. Sorry about that.
That's
I did
all
go
right.
back. I did go back through the players so everyone could see it.
You're totally good. We'll post this deck on traditionsportsonline.com under our HK forums, Hard Knock forums. I have to give mad props to Rye and Hat for putting together the scouting reports, typing out the information, doing all the research.
It's fun.
I had to give huge props to Hot Rod for putting together the slides. I know he couldn't make it tonight and he wishes he was here, but that was a big thing for us to get through and to make it cleaner and everything. And then, just thank you guys for joining us. You can tell it's getting late for me. Joining us. Thank you, Mo, Guy. I know Simi tried to pop on. And of course, Ryan Hat. Thank you guys for doing this and taking the time out tonight to do this and get this out to the guys. We will release the timing of the events. We'll let you guys know when the combine or when the grades are going to come out, and then let's just have some fun with this. And I hope you guys are ready to keep diving in more into HK and keep making it what it is and keep making it great.
Thanks a lot for hosting.
Yeah, thanks. This is fun.
Minus my feedback and issues in the beginning, but we're cool.
We can
There's
edit.
There's always edit for that.
Absolutely.
Anyways, with that said, we're all signing off. We wish you guys a good week 8 coming up, and then let's go.
All right. See you guys.